When you were a child, you were born a tabula rasa, and society could not help but to doodle its ideas upon you. The ultimate teaching for any child would be to understand that fundamentally he is life itself. To teach him that his thoughts do not belong to him. The things that he becomes attracted to are not his attractions. The things that he craves are not his cravings. And that this is the only way to freedom. As one begins to explore and to look squarely at the mind, he begins to understand that he is not the mind. It will lead you to freedom much quicker if you learn who and what you are not. For if you keep subtracting, there soon comes a time when you can subtract no more. And when you reach this point, you will discover who you are. When your thoughts feel like imposters, and your ideas seem like noise, and your preferences fail to move you, and your pride is easily dropped, you will experience the state of no mind. When you lose yourself in the activity you are involved in, and that which seemed to be an insignificant chore now seems like the only thing in the world, you will experience the state of no mind. You see, a child is a mirror, the most stark and unflinching mirror in existence. And when the parent looks at his child, subconsciously, he sees his own inadequacies. And in seeing his own inadequacies, he cannot bear the pain of them. As a result, he attributes the inadequacies to the child, and it is at this juncture that all the troubles begin. For it is at this juncture that he decides to do something that will change the course of both of their lives. He attempts to fix the child, he attempts to correct him, and mend him, and improve upon him, and in doing so, he destroys him. A parent doesn't have the wisdom to see beyond his own ego, and he becomes intoxicated with this newly granted power, this newfound control, and this becomes his undoing, for he abuses his power and assumes omniscience over the child's life. He teaches him lessons and tells him what to think and indoctrinates him into religions. He has taken this child who has come into this world colorless and painted him with the colors of his religion and his nation's flag. If a man or a woman is wise, they will look at their children in a completely different way. They will stop teaching and begin listening. Why? Who is the most joyful person in any family? The small child or the grown adult? In the family unit, there is the adult who is miserable and disappointed and stressed and confused, and there is a child who is energetic, full of life, joyful, and playful. Let me ask you something. Who should learn from whom? Should the parent teach the child to be miserable, or should he learn from the child how to be joyful? The child sees everything as new. He sees everything as if it is the first time he has ever seen it. The adult hasn't seen a new thing in years. Should the adult teach the child the academic and stale information about this old and uninteresting thing? Or should he learn from the child what he himself has been missing for all these years? You can refer to all of the parenting tips that fill the popular magazines if you like. But these will only address behavior. But behavior is never the way to address an issue. To address an issue from the standpoint of behavior is like addressing the problems of a tree at the level of the branch, rather than at the level of the root. Behavior, whether in the child or the adult, is the natural byproduct of the person's outlook, perception, and level of understanding. If you address these more fundamental elements within the human being, the behavior will change by itself. If you wish to raise wise children, stop being a parent. Abandon the idea of ownership. For whatever a man owns, he destroys. Do you not see that you treat other people's children far better than you treat your own? Why? Because you don't own them. But the children that you own are the very ones that you take for granted. The truth is that you don't own your children. Parents are owned by their children far more often than their ego, and their delusions allow them to accept. Parents are enslaved by their need for their children to do well, and this causes an enormous amount of pain in their lives. Parents are enslaved by the need for their children to reflect well on the family name, and this produces an incalculable amount of strife. The truth of truths is what every parent will deny to their dying day, but perhaps in their old age they will finally allow themselves to admit the most painful truth of their parenting lives, the one that they forever refused to allow themselves to entertain, because the fear was too profound and the pain was too great. What is that truth? Whatever a parent does in the name of his or her child, he is really doing for himself. Feel free to let loose your mock outrage. Scream at me for speaking such an unspeakable lie. Do what you will. And while you are lost in your fit of rage, I will calmly ask you, how many hours out of every day of your family life are filled with peace? How many days out of every month are completely free of family conflict? How many days out of every week are free of family turmoil? I do not mean to demonize you. Understand, my friend, that the accusations that I level against you, I have first leveled against myself 1,000 times over. Parenting is a role that the vast majority of human beings are simply not ready for. Because they have not attained to their own wisdom, they are simply not equipped to become a role model of wisdom for their children. And understand this, a child does not need a parent's teaching. He needs a parent to create for him a certain environment. And this environment will do all of the teaching necessary. If you create an environment of peace, the child will learn to be relaxed. If you create an environment of understanding, the child will be open with his problems. If you create an environment of silence, the child will become averse to the world's noise. If you create an environment of freedom, the child will have the courage to find his own way. But in order for a parent to do this, he will have to first learn these things for himself. And once he does, he will be drawn less to the control and the ego of parenting, and more to the creation of an environment that will allow the child to never lose his way. The parent's ultimate duty is to not make the child dependent upon him. The parent's ultimate duty is to allow the child to never lose sight of himself. Imagine this. Imagine that tomorrow morning, your child was going to leave the home. Imagine that you were going to drive him to the airport. And as you were driving him to the airport, you sat in complete disbelief that this time actually came. Somewhere within the common sense part of your brain, you knew that this day was going to come, didn't you? Yes and no. You knew it theoretically. But it was so far off that you never considered it a true possibility. Imagine that you are driving him to the airport now. You are thinking of all the years that have passed, the nuances, the joys, the quiet times, and the conflicts. And you suddenly have this urge to rewind the clock. You have this painfully desperate wish to have just 2 years of that time returned to you, even 2 months. But the universe says to you, I'm truly sorry, but you've had your time, and now that time is gone, what you wouldn't give for another shot, what you wouldn't give for a handful of borrowed time, you think to yourself, my goodness, all the time that you wasted. So many years flushed down the drain, and now it is time to reap the benefits and the sorrows of what you spent decades planting. All of those times when it was all about you. All of those times that you sat on your pedestal and preached your silly doctrines. All of those times that you were so busy teaching that you didn't have the time to listen. Being a parent is, in many ways, a burden. The burden of possessing too much power. And any human being that is given too much power, even though he may have the best of intentions, ends up abusing it. I now bring you back to the present. You now have the time that you begged for. What the universe couldn't give to you, I'm giving to you now. And as you run forward into this rediscovered life, I hope that you will be acutely cognizant of the fact that the day is coming. Parents don't really love their children. Do you love your children? Love is such an easy word, isn't it? 4 letters that just slip off the tongue. It's used just as often as hello and goodbye. And frankly, in the context of modern life, it means about as much. If you have children, you don't love them. You control the times they sleep and wake. You control the things they say, the manner in which they say them, and even the tone with which they are said. You plan their future for them. You make them ask your permission for the most menial privileges. You control their behavior by withholding your affection. I will not call it love. You tell them not to embarrass you. You have free rein to speak to them any way you like because you know they will be quick to accept your apology, while you are slow to accept theirs. There is so little resistance, so little caution, when you speak to them because you are the king and they are the servants, until the day comes when they are ready to leave home. And for the first time in your life, you realize that it is you who now stands begging them not to leave. The problem with being a parent is that there is too much power, and it is in the nature of human beings to abuse any power that they have been given unchecked. You treat them the way you do, not because you feel that you should, but because you can. You treat them the way you do because you are lost in yourself. You are lost in your own little world of conflicts that have lived with you for years. You do not love them, not because you don't wish to, but because you have not yet come to that moment in your life when you see your life as meaningless. And meaningless it is. When your life becomes meaningless, when you can live instead of asking from life, you will have the capacity to give love, and it will look far different than it does now. The fundamental tenet of love is freedom. The one who gives love has no need to control. He sees the humanity in the human being, and he loves him for who he is. He has no need to meddle, for how can one meddle with perfection? And on a practical level, if some rules need to be set for the well-being of the child, they are set. But they are set in clay rather than stone, and they are set with the child rather than against him. For your entire life, you feel that you have given so much to your children, but you have failed to give them that which they have craved from the moment they were born. They did not need you to buy them things. They did not need for you to take them places. They did not need for you to raise them or teach them. What they needed was for you to be so madly in love with them that they would never feel the need to leave you. What they needed was for you to look into their eyes and see creation. What they needed was for you to give your entire self to them and keep your mind to yourself. There is still time. Despite all that you have done, they will still accept you. Do not kiss them on the cheek or tell them your lies about loving them or fill them with your high-minded advice. Lose yourself in their eyes and fall completely in love with who they are. Allow them the privilege of feeling that they are worthy of such love. Allow them the intoxication of feeling that they are perfect beings. In losing yourself in their eyes, you will give them the love that they have always given to you. And nothing will need to be said. For what sort of love is a love that can be reduced into words? A letter for your children. A letter for your children. Dear child, I have so much to apologize for, and I know that an apology is simply not enough, but it marks a new beginning for the relationship that binds me to you. I'm sorry for the times I hurt your heart, for I was blinded by my ego. I'm sorry for the times I saw your tears, but not your heartfelt pain. I'm sorry for the times I considered you less than me, for I was intoxicated by my role as a parent. I'm sorry for the times I ignored you, for I took you completely for granted. I'm sorry for the times I hugged you loosely while you hugged me tight. I'm sorry for the times I showed you my hand instead of extending it. I'm sorry for the times I spoke to you without looking at you. I'm sorry for the times I expected you to give, not realizing that this was what you had been doing all along. I'm sorry for asking from you the things that you knew not how to give. I'm sorry for holding grudges when you forgave so easily. I'm sorry for teaching you lessons when I should have been learning them. I'm sorry for scolding you for things that I incited in you. I'm sorry for not looking at who you were instead of who I wanted you to be. I'm sorry for throwing away those precious, lovely years. As I look at you now, I see the years in your face, and I vow not to waste another day. I now understand that it is I who must learn from you, and while I have no right to expect it, may you have pity on this person who was so blinded by his role as a parent that he could not see the child in front of him. And now I am ready to look into your eyes and listen with all of my heart, for I now understand that you have always had what I have always longed for,